Howdy folks, it's Ultra here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, and this is part 4 of a mini-series which is going to become a maxi-series that I created for myself, following the mighty Mississippi all the way from the beginning at Lake Itasca, northern Minnesota, all the way to the Gulf of Mexico in the Mississippi River Delta to south of New Orleans. We're following the river the entire way, no shortcuts, no half-assing it, I guess I can say that. But yeah, that's what we're doing. We're in the middle of it. Video 4 already, and we're still in northern Minnesota. I assume you've watched the previous 3 videos. If not, the super quick recap is the Mississippi in northern Minnesota, where it begins, winds around and around and around and goes through all these lakes and basically ends up where we started before we head south. And where are we today? We're finally heading south. So the first 3 videos have been kind of lots of yapping and talking and moving quickly, and weather's been crazy and all this stuff. But starting in this video, it's going to get easier for both you and me. Less yapping, more sightseeing, hopefully covering more distance now because it won't be yapping so much. It's pretty much going to be set it and forget it. So the Mississippi River came out through here. Now these are some lakes actually. These are considered lakes with the river in the middle of it. River goes out this way, goes through downtown Brainerd, turns south, and then basically, in air quotes, it's going to be south now, all the way to the Gulf of Mexico, a couple thousand miles away. So we're done with all the crazy, busy work. It's just going to be check out downtown Brainerd, turn south, and set it and forget it. We'll just set the heading bug and altitude and autopilot, and we'll just go until I need to stop or whatever for the video. And then we'll just do that again and again until we get to the Gulf. So not sure how many more videos this is going to be, but we should definitely be able to cover much greater distances now in each video. So there you go. That's the recap and the foreshadowing. And what else do I need to say? Well, we have real weather turned on, so it snowed in real life a little bit, at least north of here. And we did have snow on the ground a couple videos ago. But now there's no snow on the ground, so I don't know what's going on. But the wind has been okay. The wind has been like 7 knots or something, pretty easy. And we'll stay below the clouds. And once we get in the air, I'll just kind of, talk about what city we're going by, like the big ones, as we get through Minnesota. Then once we leave Minnesota, I don't know much about stuff other than what everybody else knows, like, hey, there's St. Louis. Or, hey, here's this, here's that, whatever. That I'll point out. But other than that, Minnesota is where I know the most, so that's why I'm talking so much. Okie dokie. So this airplane, the big Radials Norseman, I believe I need to disclose that this is an airplane that was gifted to me about a little over a year ago, I think now. Big Radials gifted me all the airplanes in their hangar. The Norseman is my favorite. The Grumman is my next favorite. They do have a few others that I don't fly very often. But the Norseman and Grumman, I think, are their like big main airplanes, I think. So they did give this to me. I need to disclose that. I mean, I'm not getting paid for the video or anything, and I already did a bunch of videos with this under no obligation to make the videos, including close look videos if you want to check out those videos, just search for them on the channel. So anyway, I have to disclose that, I think. So we left it right here, all ready to go and stuff, welcoming some cargo because there's only 2 seats in this one, the way I have it set up. So let's hop inside, and whoa, hi, and let's do this. Take out the TV, and let's change it to pass. Let's do mixed now, because we can. And we'll change our cargo. Let's close the door, take off the covers and the chocks, and if we look behind us, we can now bring some people with. I think if we want to sit down. Yeah, then we just have a barrel back there. And now what that's talking about is if you go up here and change it to crate. And then change it to crate. Okay, whatever. I'm not sure what's going on. But anyway, whoops. Okay, whatever. Let's keep it the way it is. Back to barrel mixed. Close this. Yep. I know. So we are going to try to start this ourselves now. I have not been able to start this in the past couple of videos, or past videos, so I had to do the Control E thing. It took me 25 minutes. I'm like, I'm just going to Control E it, and we did. We'll see if we can start it this time. I do have a checklist on my other monitor, like usual. And let's see here. So parking brake is set. Controls are set. Let's do fuel and passengers, because now we have a different mix here. So we got a Mimi. Oh, that's all staying the same. Yeah, we didn't use much fuel. Let's crank it up though, because we keep running out of fuel. So let's just do that. Alrighty, remove all the chocks and everything we did, so it's all clean out here now, see, right? Let's see, battery on, we got to move you out of the way, sorry. Knew I wanted to look at those red warnings. Battery on, generator on, select the fullest tank, which I think is the, well, I'll tell you which is the fullest tank. Right wing, all the 60, 60, 70, rear belly is the fullest, which I think is this one, right? Yeah, rear belly is the fullest. And then front belly, the wings have more than the front. Okay, cool. Keep that in mind. I'm going to need to know that. Alrighty, generator on. I did. Comp on, which I think are compartment fans. But it spins all that around, right? Props back. They are throttle closed, mixture rich, carb cold. It is over on the left. Shutter closed. It is because it's cold outside. So it's closed. I think you can see that on here too. Is it on here? You can see it. 0%. Oh, they're open, right? Let's flip that around. If I go like this, I think, is it like that? I'm trying to remember. I have to remember my own video. 84%. Okay, keep going. I should remember my own video, right? Because I do have a video on this. So next is oil dilute. If cold, it is cold outside. It's below freezing. Although here says it is freezing. Ignition to both. I'm going to move it up here. Come on, where is it? You got to get the right spot. And there you go. There's both. Crack the throttle a little. Hand pump 2 times. So we're going to go 1, 2, and then prime 6 times. And if this doesn't work, I'm just going to do Control E, because I'm not going to spend half an hour trying to start it again. Like last time, I think that's 5. I think that's 6. Come over here. Over here, thank you. Engage. Oh, yep, engage and let go. Energize. I can hear it winding up. And engage until starts. And again, it won't start, so watch this. Control E. And it's starting. I don't know what's going on. I need to figure it out, though, because I want to start on my own. All right, flight plan, I already told you. We're going to take off, go over downtown Brainerd, Minnesota, head south, set it and forget it, sightsee, and I'll tell you what we're passing on the way. So the hard, difficult, challenging part of the flight is over. It's going to be super easy from here on out, as long as autopilot doesn't ram us into the ground. The only difficult part will be landing and taking off in this thing, because it's not as easy as you would think. You need a very long runway, first of all, which we found out last video. You should go watch, see what happened. And you need a lot of practice to land. So, alrighty, excuse me, weather and barometer. Do we have an ATIS here? We do.
Kilo Bravo Romeo Delta, automated weather observation 16000 Zulu. Wind 29er at 6. Visibility 10. Sky condition, ceiling 1,900 feet overcast. Temperature -3 Celsius. Dew point 10 Celsius. Altimeter 3021.
Right, 299er at 6 knots. I listened to it again. So 299er is 30. What is closest to 29? Well, 23 to 29 is 6, right? So 60 degrees off. 29 to 34 is 5. So it's 50 degrees off. So that's 6, that's 5. I don't know where runway 34 is, because we came in on 23. So let's see. We came in on 23. Whoops, which is this one. 34 is that one. So the wind is coming from 29, which is right, split the difference. Let's take off on 34 just because it's technically 10 degrees better than the other one. Let's turn on some lights so we can see what we're doing. Like this. Cabin light. Okay, already is on. Barometer set. Announced 34, I think I said. Announced taxi.
Kilo Bravo Romeo Delta traffic turtle soup Tango 41 is taxiing to runway 34.
And what does my checklist say? No flaps, no taxi lights, props forward, water rudder if applicable, which is not. So here we go. So we learned, oh boy, come on. We know that it takes a lot a runway to get going. Man, it does not want to turn either. And it says no flaps, and it says no flaps for a reason, because we've learned with this airplane, if flaps are out, then why won't it go? What the heck? We learned that if flaps are extended at all, it just makes you sink, right? And we had flaps out in the previous landing, and we tried to climb a little bit because of a mishap, and it was darn near impossible. Should I go that way, do you think? I should go this way. It was darn near impossible to climb. In fact, we couldn't climb at all, flaps out. So, nope, that's not the way we wanted. Hang on. We cannot climb at all. Oh, shoot. And how come I have no control of my drone? Oh, dang it. Okay, let's go all the way around, I guess. Anyway, with flaps at all, you cannot climb. Period. Which is why you take off without flaps. But then that means you need a lot of runway too. So, we'll see how this goes. Our first two takeoffs did not have enough runway. We ran into trees the first time. We ran into the side of a hangar the second time. We ended up taking off the other way with the tailwind and ran into some trees the third time. So we'll see how this goes. Anywho, we saw this airport coming in. So if you want to see it again, just watch the end of the last video. So I'm going to taxi all the way to runway 34 just to save some time, because I'm making these videos shorter than normal. So we end up doing 2/3 of the video with this part, and only 1/3 is flying. So let me get to 34 and I'll see you there. Alright, so I think I take the second one and turn right, and then that gives us our way access to runway 34. Yeah, right next to the runway. Okay, good. I'll slow down a little bit though. And I'm about to take the Formula 1 line here. Yep, there we go. The windsock is favoring our choice of runway. Whoa, let's not tip over. And here we go. We made it. Runway 34. Okay, so before we announce takeoff, we have a few things to do on our checklist. And then we'll announce it. And then we'll get out of everybody's way here. Like I said, I have real world traffic turned on, but have not heard anything at any other airports. We have been by some major airports though, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Stop, parking brake, end of runway. What do we need to do? We need to extend the landing lights, and I'm on the wrong application. There we go. Landing lights, whoops, extend and turn them on. There we go. What is next? Nav lights on. There we go. Carb cold, it is. Confirm mixture rich, it is. Props forward, pitot heat just did. Note the time on the clock. What time is it? I don't know, it's late morning again. And there we go. Okay, let's announce takeoff. We're gonna go to the west before we go south though.
Kilo Bravo Romeo Delta Traffic Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 taking off runway tree 4 departure to the west.
Alright, so rotate 120, which is the yellow tick right there. We have yet to get to 120 on any runway we've chosen. Brake to stop the wheels, climb at 100, and then 90 lights off, which we'll keep on. See how it's going to be crossing from the left? So either way we were screwed. But this is the better choice by 10 degrees. So there's a crosswind already affecting us. See that? Wants to go left. Ooh, look at that, right into the wind. I'm waiting till I see 120 on the speedometer below us at the bottom of your screen. There's 100, 110. Oh, we're finally going to hit it. 120. Oh, beautiful. Oh, this is easy to take off if you have the room. Goodness gracious. All right, brake to stop the wheels. Flaps are already up because you don't use them or you'll never get off the ground, which is not what you normally learn, but in this plane, that's how it works. Landing lights off? No. Keep them on. There's the Mississippi right there, and there it is to our left, through the lakes. We are going to climb until we find the base of the clouds. It did tell us, and I forgot. So cruise, oil and carb temp as needed, blowout as needed, autopilot available, switch tanks. There we go. Alrighty, let's keep an eye on the prize though. And let's find downtown Brainerd, which is up there. You can see it filling in. The river, the mighty Mississippi, goes right through downtown. So let's set, I guess, let's do 3,300 again. Because if we can get there and there aren't clouds that low, it's a beautiful height for cruising to see everything. So if we aim for 3,300, let's set our heading bug right now is, we're at what, 23, 230. So 230, here we go. Heading bug, vertical speed, let's do 400 feet per minute. And it should capture our 3,300 feet per minute. If not, we'll figure it out. It did work the very first time, and then after that it didn't really work without tweaking a bunch of things. So let's open this and see what it says. And close this. Help is your autopilot. Alt hold, we'll see if it turns on its own at 3,300, or else I'll hit the button. Yeah, we'll see. There's downtown Brainerd. There's the Mississippi coming through by the airport. And there's Highway 210, which goes all the way across the state of Minnesota. Alright, where are we at? We are at 30. Okay. There we go. 3,300. It's working this time. Dang. Let's hit barometer. Yeah. Look at that. Okay, I was so surprised. I didn't know what I was looking at. Okay, let's hop outside here. We can look at, whoa, look at downtown Brainerd before the river takes off. So there's a river there. Boom, boom, boom. So let's get our heading bug ready. And turn, and we're just going to literally follow the river now. It's starting to get wider and more obvious and more what people think it is, right? We're going to just follow it now, and I'll point out some things along the way. Some of the ground we can cover here in each video. Now there's your downtown Brainerd. 371 goes north, 210 cuts across. Lake country, cabin country. That's awesome. Look at that. Brainerd really looks like that too. And they have Paul Bunyan and Blade. Oh, these have both Paul Bunyan and Babe Blue locks. I can't remember what they have now, but anywho, there you go. 210 cut across, 371. Bam, and there's the river right there. So we started this series with 3 videos of a little tiny creek that was called the Mississippi, and now starting to look like a river. So there we go. It's going to get wider and easier to spot. There's 371, goes over and around the river, back and forth. That joins Highway 10 in Little Falls, US 10, and then the river. So I'm going to stop talking already. I'm just going to give you sightseeing for a while. I'll point out Fort Ripley. That's kind of significant. A lot of stuff happens in Fort Ripley. That's also where the Minnesota State Patrol trains, I think. And then I'll point out Little Falls and some other stuff. So enjoy a minute or two without me, and I'll be right back. Alright, just like that, we're coming up on the Fort Ripley area. There's 371, Minnesota 371 on your left, Mississippi on the right, and now it looks like a proper river. Look at that. It only took us several days to get here, but now we're making good time. Just since I took off from the airport, we've covered more ground north to south than we have in all previous videos, because now we're just following the river. Super straightforward. You can see the river going along here, doo-doo-doo, zigzag. There's Little Falls right there, and then boom, 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 comes out off into the distance. This is Fort Ripley area, though. This is where they have the training for the Minnesota State Patrol and other stuff. It's a pretty big deal, this area. people from outside the states have probably heard of it. Well, I just don't know what else to say. Not too much to say, but what's the other river? The other river is the Nokasippi River. So the Mississippi and Nokasippi. Very cool. Anyway, we're going to keep going, and then we're not stopping though, the next thing to mention is Little Falls, which will be right up here where Minnesota 371 and US 10 join forces for a little bit. I'll see you in Little Falls in just a second. So this kidney bean thing, that's what we're looking for. Little Falls is right here. Highway 10 comes across the Mississippi and joins 371 in Little Falls. And something else I wanted to point out, have you noticed how the trees are not nearly as thick as they were in the first 3 videos? As soon as we came south of Brainerd, Minnesota, the trees have gotten a little thinner. We still have lots of trees in forest, but notice how thin the trees have become. And part of that is, getting rid of them for agriculture. But the other part is, that's why a lot of people, most people, go north of Brainerd to do all their outdoorsy vacationing, like camping and hiking and resorts and cabins and stuff, because the woods get thicker and it's more interesting north of Brainerd. Of course, you can have cabins anywhere, and people do, but most people at least go to Brainerd when they head out of town. And it's just, the woods are different, the trees are different, the smell is different, the mosquitoes are bigger. They can lift you up and carry you away, but it's a little more interesting and more beautiful. People don't really want to be at a cabin and look at the farm next door, right? So here it is. This is US 10, which goes cross country over downtown Little Falls and connecting to 371. In fact, 371, I think, technically ends, air quotes, in Little Falls. So south now, it's just US 10. And then there is the split right here. Very busy interchange. In fact, one of my dad's friends blew a tire on their trailer here and locked the brakes and closed traffic for a while. That was interesting because it's a big interchange here. Alrighty, so there's the Mississippi going to the north. There's US 10 heading up towards Fargo, actually. Yeah, you take this to Fargo. What am I thinking? Of course you do. Detroit Lakes, Fargo, things like that. Fargo, everybody would know. There's the Mississippi, starting to look like a river now. And then we're just going to keep heading south. We're going to follow US 10 now, south. And I think the next big city is St. Cloud. Yeah. I mean, there's some little towns. If you're local, you know the small towns like Royalton and Rice. And Sartell, which is a suburb of St. Cloud. But mainly, we're just going to take the river now and US 10 together to St. Cloud. And I think we're going to keep going. I think we're going to get to Minneapolis in this video. And then the next video we can head out of Minnesota. And then once we get to Minneapolis, well, then the river's huge all the way to the Gulf, right? So, yeah, let's try to get to Minneapolis. So we have to get to St. Cloud, which is the next big thing. And St. Cloud to Minneapolis is about an hour's drive, depending where you're going to Minneapolis. But it won't be an hour flight. It'll be like 15-minute flight, probably. So there is Little Falls. The grandfather on my mom's side, my mother's dad, came from there, grew up there. And then my mother's mom, my grandmother, on her side, came from Bemidji. Wow, look at that. That is a proper river. Now it's getting big. Alrighty. Let's keep going. St. Cloud, is it in the distance? I don't think you can see it yet. Let me see here. I'm looking for a landmark. Okay, so you see this lake. It's past that, so it's just on the horizon of St. Cloud. That's where we're headed. Enjoy the scenery along the way. And I'll see you. Let me check fuel first. Hang on. Fuel's looking good. I'll see you in just a moment. Alright, we're coming up on Sartell, which is a suburb of St. Cloud. Now, I'll do a little bit of talking while going through St. Cloud because I have stuff to say about it. And then we'll be quiet again with sightseeing as we head towards Minneapolis. I'll try not to talk too much about Minneapolis. Of course, that's where I'm from, born and raised, except for 1 year when I moved out and then came back. I'll try not to talk too much about it, especially because we're going to be going through the northern suburbs, which is where I grew up. I already have our airport picked out. I'll talk about that as we get closer to Minneapolis, of where we're going to land for this leg. Anyway, Sartell, suburb of St. Cloud. I've been there because long ago in was it high school? I can't remember. I think it was, I don't know if it was high school or not, but it was back when, you know, online chatting was a thing, a new thing. All the super ultra nerds were doing it. It wasn't mainstream yet to chat on the internet. And well, we're in Sartell now because here's the split right here. This goes into St. Cloud. This goes around St. Cloud. Anyway, oh, I wonder if the prison is going to be modeled. Let me find it exactly where it is on the map because it's actually hard to find. It's not in St. Cloud. Anyway, Sartell. Where's the prison? You got to find the prison super fast. Where is the prison? There it is. Okay. All right, I have it set up, ready to go. Okay. So Sartell, back when the internet chatting was a brand new thing, I was chatting with some gal, I don't know, like it was before AOL, it was like ICQ or something, and she lived in Sartell, so my friends and I drove to Sartell to meet her, and it was interesting. So we were 18-ish, give or take a couple months, and it was interesting because she, even though she was chatting in ICQ in the late 90s on the internet, she was very well put together, very attractive. She was just exceptionally introverted to the point where I think she said 4 words the entire time where you were there. And her parents were so introverted, as soon as we walked in, they shooed us into her bedroom, which sounds like things you normally wouldn't do, right, with teenagers, but they were so shy, they didn't want to see us. They had a piano. I asked to play it. They didn't want me to because they were too scared. So it was a very interesting experience. And I remember my friend totally was crushing on her because he was like speechless the whole time. I'm like, why didn't you talk? He's like, She was so beautiful I couldn't talk. It was really funny. I tell that story because a lot of you who watch these videos are probably from that era, you know, where if there was a girl on the internet, it was actually a dude, that era. But she was really a girl, and she was incredibly attractive and very well educated and very well put together. So that was my experience that was my introduction to online chatting. Isn't that unexpected story? Anyway, there's the river here. I'm trying to stay closer to Highway 10 because I want to see if the prison is modeled. There's a prison here. Wait, did I pass it already? I did. There's the prison right there. Oh my gosh, that's St. Cloud. We are going really fast. We're making good time. And there's a prison. It's like the highest security prison in like the Midwest until Chicago or something. And yes, my dad did time there. He did. My dad was a resident of that prison for a while. Oh my gosh. Ooh, shudders to think about. Anyway, there's St. Cloud. Yeah, so there's my St. Cloud Sartell story. This is not the river. The river's over here. Do those have names? Okay, each one of these has a name. But this is the river here. Then the river goes off. So, anyway, there's my story about Sartell, Minnesota. Let's stay close to the river. Although the river... So, what happens here geographically is you have US 10 on the east side of the river. The northeast side of the river. Then the Mississippi, and then Interstate 94, which you see right here, on the west side of the river. So they all three run together. You got US 10, the river, and then I-94. Just depends on where you want to go. And there's always debates in this part of the state of are you going to take 94 or 10 to get somewhere, to get up north. It's interesting. People have their favorite way of taking things. I'm a Highway 10 person myself because we used to go camping and resorting off Highway 10. Other people will take 94 really far north and cut across to Highway 10. I'm just partial to the small towns along the way. Alrighty, enough yippin' yappin'. So our next stop, which will be a stop, is going to be Blaine, Minnesota. It's a suburb due north of Minneapolis. There's an airport there, KANE, Kilo Alpha November Echo. Substantial airport. It was built to be the backup to Minneapolis. So if Minneapolis couldn't handle planes for weather or some reason, they could send the big jets to KANE and Blaine. It never ended up being that way. I think they send them to Flying Cloud instead out in Prairie, which is southwest suburb of Minneapolis. But that was their plan. So here's Highway 10. Here's the river. Here's I-94. 10, river, 94. It does that all the way to Minneapolis. Anyway, we're going to follow the river. So anyway, yeah, so KANE, that's where we're going to go. I actually modeled KANE for X-Plane, and no one's redone it, so I must have done a good job. At least I think nobody's redone it since I've done it. But anyway, it's a big deal. It's a big deal airport. You can go there right next to the runways and watch planes. They actually have a jet aviation company there. Because again, it was supposed to be the backup for Minneapolis. So they can fly, full-size jets in and out of there. They don't, but they can. It's just a really cool airport. There's a couple museums there, hundreds of hangars. It's really busy. But it's really cool. So that's where we're headed. We're headed to KANE. It's too early to call them now because we have to get through Big Lake, Elk River, and all these tiny towns along the way. I'm not going to name them all, but for those of you regionally local, we're going to go over Big Lake, where they did. Becker has the Big Furniture World. Huge furniture store. I can't remember if they went out of business. I think there's no business. And then Clear Lake, Big Lake. I have relatives in Big Lake. And then Elk River. That's a big deal. This is Becker here, I believe. Yeah, that's Becker for sure. And that's where the big furniture place is. So people drive up from the cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, to Becker, 45 minutes away, to look at furniture. Anyway, it's all true. Everything I'm telling you is true. River's in front of us. We're just going to keep following the river. Monticello is a huge city. That's where Highway 10 and 94 are the closest to get between the two. Well, it depends who you talk to, I guess. But they're close enough, people will make the cross. So they'll cross the river there because there aren't that many river crossings. So you really got to plan if you want to cross the river. And then Elk River, substantial the exurbs, right? And then after that, you have the suburbs. Anoka. A lot of you may have heard from Anoka, even if you're not from here. And then Coon Rapids, where I was from. And then Blaine, where the airport is. So I'm going to stop yipping yapping. You enjoy Becker and Elk River and Coon Rapids, and I'll see you when we get to Blaine. Alright, Elk River is in front of us, which means, there it is, which means it is time to call KANE. So, via car, you'd still be a good 35-45 minutes away from KANE. But because we're in the air, cooking through so fast, KANE's right here. There we go. Actually, I lied. Elk River is the next city. Sorry. Elk River is the next city. It's the bend in the river, which is right there. So there we go. Alrighty, let's call KANE, let them know we're coming in. We'll see what runway they want to give us, and they can plan accordingly. KANE, there's so many teeny tiny airports that we got to keep going here. KANE, 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 and they're all changing as I look at them. Where are you, KANE? There it is, number 5, Anoka County-Blaine. I think it's called James Field or something. Tune ATIS.
Anoka County Airport information Golf 1700 Zulu. Wind 282 at 7. Visibility 10. Sky condition, ceiling 2,400 feet overcast. Temperature -1. Dew point 10. Altimeter tree 0.28. ILS runway 27 in use. Landing and departing runway 27. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have golf.
Alright, so we have Golf runway 27 and is faint because it's so far away, right? So let's request full stop landing.
Tower Turtle Soup, Tango 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 41 is 21 miles northwest, 3,300 feet with hotel to land.
Turtle Soup, Tango 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 41 Tower. Altimeter tree 0.24 wind 282 at 7. Enter left downwind runway 27.
Fly left traffic runway 27 Turtle Soup, Tango Tango Tango.
Alright, runway 27, pretty easy, right? So here's Elk River, right at the bend. Pretty substantial city. Everybody knows how that is who's local. There's the Mississippi going that way. We are barely going to break away from the Mississippi to get to KANE. In fact, we'll see KANE from the Mississippi, no doubt about that. There's Elk River for the locals watching. So we're just going to follow the river. And then we're going to follow Highway 10 also. So Highway 10 runs along this side. Right? Highway 10 is over here. I-94 is going to split off a little bit. And what else? Oh, that's 101, sorry. I-94 already split off. What am I saying? Jeez. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Anywho, Highway 10, we're going to follow it, see how it goes alongside the river. We're going to follow the 2 until we see the airport, and then we'll land, etc., etc. And there goes 101, which comes back to 94. Right up here, you should be able to see it. Right there. Boom. Right there. So there's 94 on that side of the river. Otherwise, what else can I say? Not a whole lot. Unless I just ramble, which I'm done rambling. So we're going to follow the river under our nose, and when we see the airport up here, there it is, right there. We'll do left traffic, and we'll land. Alright, interrupting the sightseeing because here's Anoka County Fairgrounds. Those of you who know the area. Anoka County Fairgrounds are right there. There's the demolition derby pit. And Highway 10 comes through here, like this. There's the river. And then it turns into Coon Rapids. Then there's the airport right there. We probably don't want to get in the way of departing aircraft. So we should probably either go way to the river to go under the flight path or over the center of the airport. But we're just going to follow 10. I can name you all these roads. I grew up in this area. You know, Anoka, Coon Rapids, Blaine. I can name all of this for you if you wanted me to, but I'm not going to bore everybody as much as I want to. I'm not going to. But yeah, here's Anoka. So it used to be, there was nothing between Minneapolis and Anoka. Just empty space in between. Then they built it all up. So Anoka was one of the very first suburbs. In fact, it was its own city for a long time. It's a very old city. There's the river. Here's Highway 10. And then there's the airport right there. So we're going to break off a little bit. And there's snow or rain happening, which should basically be over my house, and there isn't any. So I don't know where, I don't know how they fly right now in real life, like living right here, basically. This is not happening where I'm living. Maybe it's in the future, or maybe I just can't see it on my windows. Anyway, there's the airport, there's the river, and there's Highway 10. So we're going to land here, and then in the next video we'll take off and go south, follow the river, hopefully get well into Iowa, if not even Missouri in the next video, perhaps. But you won't know unless you subscribe and notifications turned on. And hit that like button so people know we exist, eh? So here we go. We're just going to hold our course, I guess. Yeah, so runway 27 is that one, obviously. Right, 270 degrees is west, boom. So these are all due north, south, east, and west. So we're going to come across this way, follow the highway. We're into Blaine now, and then land right there once we get clearance. And it'll be interesting to see this airport in this sim, because like I said, I modeled the one for X-Plane a long time ago. Ooh, there's 610, Highway 10, County 10. There's a Highway 10 and a County 10. So I just tell people take the white 10 or the blue 10. Because they don't understand the difference between county and U.S. highway signs. There's downtown Minneapolis, which, bummer we can't see it, but it's being rained on right now apparently. Oh, sorry, it's right there. That's downtown St. Paul. Minneapolis, St. Paul. You can see the buildings kind of a little bit, but in from Minneapolis anyway. Being rained on. St. Paul is up here, even though these are Minneapolis suburbs. There it is. So anyway, if you know what you're looking for, you see it, but getting rained on anyway. So here we go. Let's do left traffic and start coming down. Landing checklist, please. Landing checklist or approach checklist. Got the weather, we got it. Fullest thing selected, yes. Landing lights on. Flaps down as we need them. Approach speed 100 knots. Steep approach. Landing 85 to 90. So we'll get clearance any minute here. And we'll land. I'm just checking stuff out. Yeah, there's Highway 10. There it is.
Tango, 41 wind tree, 10 at 4. Clear to land runway 27.
Clear to land runway 27 Turtle Soup, Tango 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 41.
Alright, clear to land. You could barely hear the radio for some reason. So let's slow down. We're going really fast. Oh my word. Alright, really sharp turn here. I think we can do flaps pretty fast in this plane, but that's not quite yet. And whoops, stop descending please. Holding, and why are we getting all the weird stuff? What the heck? First set of flaps down. And I should really see how many sets of flaps we have. I just hit the flap thing like 4 times just to cover it. There we go. Oh gosh. What? Where's our airport? Where did the airport go? This is super embarrassing. How do you lose an airport? What? What just happened to my brain? Oh, it's over here. Wow, I am... What the heck? I know what happened, but I can't believe I let that happen. I turned so steeply. I basically turned... See, there's a highway, right? We were coming down that highway, and I turned around so steeply, I basically turned back onto myself. What? How did I let that happen? This is beginner stuff, man. Left traffic pattern to a huge airport with a lot of space and no terrain, and I screwed it up? What? That is not acceptable for any reason. That was really strange that I let that happen. Anyway, here we go. Full power and barely staying above approach speed because these flaps really take everything out of you. Look at that, full power. And I can barely stay in the air with full flap. Alright, here we go. Steep approach, of course, on purpose. Man, that was weird. Oh well, whatever. Whatever. As long as we land, we'll be fine. And here we go. Wanting to look around and look at the Minneapolis skyline as we come down, but I better not, because I don't miss the runway. We will see Minneapolis for sure on the next flight because the river goes through downtown Minneapolis. So there you go. We will definitely see the city then. And here we land. There we go. Great approach once I figured out where it was. So here we go. Steep approach, level off. Try not to bounce this time. So remember, I am closer to the runway than it feels like. See? Again, I'm like, oh, we have a long way to go to come down. No, we don't. We were already there. See, look at that. We are on the ground, and I feel like we're in the air like 15 feet. Do you feel that way too? Look at that. I feel like we're still on the air. Oh, I will. I will. Oh, we have a taxi thing for us. Let's follow that, I guess. And it is not sunset. It's like 11 a.m. in the sim. It's just in Minnesota, in the middle of winter like this, the sun rises so late and sets so soon, and you only see it on the southern horizon. So when we turn left here from this taxi, you will see the sun along the southern sky. That's how far north we are here in Minneapolis. And look at the sun. It's midday, and look at that sun. Looks like it's setting already. I did turn next taxiway. Alright, we have a few things we need to do here. Let's set parking brake.
132.4 turtle soup, tango 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 41. Goodbye.
And taxi to parking.
Ground turtle soup, tango 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 41 taxi to parking.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Delta Bravo Golf.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway, Delta Bravo Golf Turtle Soup, tango 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 41.
Alright, you can see everything I did. Turned off everything. We're all ready to go. So real life, if you want to know, actually the tower's not there in real life. This airport is not auto-gen very well. There should be tons and tons. Actually, that tower's in the right spot. Yeah, because see, right next to the tower is the viewing area, which is a lot closer to the runways than it looks. But anyway, everything you see should be lined with hangars, just hangars everywhere. You can check this on Google Maps if you want to see for yourself. But anyway, and the flight school is right here on that pad. So that's a bummer that this is a very poorly auto-gen airport, especially since they put so much work into the X-Plane one. Oh, cool. We're getting other traffic. That's fun. Yeah, we'll just come along here and see where they're putting us. And then we'll shut it down. And then we'll have our sign off here. Actually, I'll start the sign off now. So make sure your subscribe notification turned on so you know the next part is live on the channel. Hit the like button so people know we exist. We're going to continue down the Mississippi. It's only going to get easier and easier as we go. One of the reasons I wanted to do this was, one, to show everybody how complicated and convoluted the Mississippi was where it starts in northern Minnesota. And then I also wanted to do something over the plains because we did so much stuff with... What? Too late now. Anyway, I just wanted to...
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 continue taxi.
Roger Turtle Soup, tango 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 41.
Anyway, yeah. So I wanted to do the plains since we did the coast before.
Alpha Juliet, continue taxi.
And here we go. But yeah, this would be lined with hangars, just hundreds of them at this airport. That's okay. That is okay. Alright, here we go. Let's hop inside and park. Whoops. Let's do some differential braking here. There we go. Whoa, not that much. I can't see the person, and we can never get started once you've stopped and you're trying to turn. And I can't see the person, so I'm just going to assume it's good. Hit the parking brake. Are we good? Nah, they want us to come closer. Okay, fine. Let's go a little bit closer. Come on. And there we go. Hit the parking brake. That's better. Alright, props back. Throttle back. Mixture back. Ignition off. Which, please give me access to. Come on. Why can't I... Why is my mouse not working all of a sudden in here? That's weird. Oh boy. Come on. Off? Is that all the way off? Must be. Okay, thank you. Ignition off. Yep. All switches off. That would be whatever's left over here. And simple as that. And we need to put our fuel on. Off. Please. Thank you. And there you go. Alrighty, we can come over here now. And come on. Why? My mouse stopped working. That's very bizarre. Alrighty. Let's see here. Let's see what we can do with the half-working mouse. We can do chocks. We can open the doors and turn those off and cover everything up. And there you go. Alrighty, I already did my outro, so hopefully you're subscribed, and I'll see you as we head south into Iowa and probably Missouri in the next video. Oh, there's Minneapolis. The snowstorm ended. Is St. Paul showing up? Yeah, if you know where to look. But anyway, we'll see you next time, Minneapolis, and I'll see you next time too. See you then.